Most men think they understand women, but they don't. They see the smile, the soft voice, the attention, and believe they know what's really going on. But in truth, they are blind to the silent test that decides everything. A test she will never tell you about. A test you have already faced without even realizing it. This is not about tricks or games. This is about something much older, something embedded deep in human nature, passed down for generations. Great minds like Machiavelli and Carl Jung knew the secret, and they understood one thing. If a man fails his test, he loses her respect forever. What you are about to hear is not just theory. It's the reality you've already lived, whether you notice it or not. Every glance, every word, every moment of silence, they all hold clues. Clues to whether she sees you as a man worth following or one she can quietly control. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you will discover what most men never even suspect. And once you see it, you will never unsee it again. To understand this hidden test, we have to step back. History has shown us that relationships between men and women have always been built on unspoken rules. Long before dating apps, before modern romance, there were codes of loyalty, strength, and leadership, and they were enforced without a single word being spoken. Philosophers and strategists knew this well. Machiavelli, for example, wrote about power and influence, not in the context of love, but in the context of human nature itself. Yet his observations apply perfectly to what happens between a man and a woman. Carl Jung went deeper, exploring the unconscious mind, the part of us that operates without our awareness. It's here that the silent test takes place. When a woman meets you, she is not just hearing your words. She is feeling your presence, watching your reactions, and measuring your consistency. She's not doing this because she's manipulative. It's instinct. Just as you might judge whether someone is trustworthy, she is judging whether you can lead, protect, and remain steady under pressure. This is why charm alone is never enough. You can make her laugh, you can make her feel excited, but if she senses weakness when it matters, everything changes. She might still talk to you, still smile, but deep inside, the decision will already be made. In a world full of distractions and short-term attention, the man who understands this test and passes it stands apart from the rest. And once you know how it works, you will begin to see it everywhere, in every conversation, every relationship, and every glance across a crowded room. Here's where most men make their first mistake. They believe that the test is about impressing her, showing how much they care, proving they are different from other men. But the truth is, the more you try to prove yourself, the more you fail without realizing it. A woman's test is not about what you say. It's about what you do when things aren't going your way. When she challenges your opinion, when she makes you wait, when she pulls back emotionally, these are not accidents. They are signals. Signals to see if you stay centered or if you collapse under pressure. Machiavelli wrote that people, when faced with uncertainty, will look for strength. If you flinch, hesitate, or start over-explaining yourself, you reveal a weakness that can't be hidden again. She will remember that moment, even if she doesn't mention it. Think about the times you felt her mood change for no reason. Maybe she became quiet, distracted, or slightly colder. You probably tried to fix it right away. But in that very moment, the real test was happening. And most men fail it because they chase her approval instead of holding their ground. Passing this test is not about dominance for its own sake. It's about showing that you can stand firm, even when things feel uncomfortable. And once you understand this, every interaction with her takes on a different meaning, because you'll start to see the patterns she doesn't want you to notice. Now, let's go deeper. A woman's test often appears when things are going well, not when there's obvious conflict. This is why so many men never see it coming. She might suddenly challenge a decision you've made, question your confidence, or even push you away slightly to see if you pull her back. And listen carefully, because this part is where most viewers will get distracted and leave. Don't be one of them. If you skip this, you will miss the exact moment that determines whether you gain her respect or lose it forever. Think about it. How many times have you been in a conversation where she makes a small, cutting remark? Maybe she questions your plan, your work, or your friends. Most men rush to defend themselves, talking too much, explaining too much. They think they are clearing the misunderstanding. But in reality, they're showing that they can be rattled. Passing this test is not about having the perfect answer. It's about your ability to remain calm and grounded. Your tone stays steady. Your decisions remain consistent. You don't break eye contact. You don't chase for reassurance. When she sees that you don't flinch, something shifts in her. Respect replaces doubt. Desire replaces uncertainty. And from that point on, the dynamic between you changes, sometimes in ways you can't imagine yet. Here's the twist most men never expect. The test is not always about you winning in the moment. Sometimes, the real measure is how you handle losing. Think about this. You've planned something. She disagrees, and instead of arguing, you calmly let her take the lead, knowing it might fail. Later, when things don't go as she expected, you don't say, "I told you so." You don't gloat. You simply stay steady, unfazed, and ready to move forward. That, more than anything, shows strength. Machiavelli wrote that those who appear secure in themselves, even in defeat, inspire more trust than those who scramble to prove they were right. In relationships, the same rule applies. A man who can stay composed when things don't go his way is far more attractive than one who clings to control. This is why some of the most powerful moments in a relationship happen in silence. No long speeches, no desperate explanations, just presence. She will feel it without you needing to say a word. But here's the dangerous part. If she senses that her disagreement, her challenge, or her pullback can throw you off balance, she knows she holds the power. From that point forward, you'll be reacting to her instead of leading. And once that dynamic shifts, it is very difficult to reverse. The test is ongoing. It doesn't happen just once. Every disagreement, every delay, every time she sees whether you stay calm or collapse, she is collecting evidence. Evidence that tells her whether you are the man she thought you were, or just another one who talks big until the pressure comes. By now, you've probably started recognizing moments in your own life where the silent test was happening. But here's the thing. We're just getting to the part she never wants you to hear. If you're still watching right now, you're already ahead of 80% of men. Most have clicked away by this point, distracted, telling themselves they've heard enough. But you stayed, and that means you're ready for the truth that changes everything. This test is not only about how you respond to her challenges. It's also about how you carry yourself when she's not watching, your consistency in private moments, your discipline when there's no one to impress, your ability to stay the same man regardless of who's in the room. That's what builds the deepest respect. She is always observing, not in a paranoid, obsessive way, but instinctively. The way you treat the waiter, how you speak about people who aren't there, whether you keep promises when they cost you something. These are the quiet signals that tell her who you really are. Fail here, and it doesn't matter how smooth you are in conversation. Pass here, and she will see you as someone rare, a man she can follow without hesitation. So, how do you pass this test in real life? The answer is simpler than you think, but it requires discipline. First, understand that your value is not proven in a single moment. It's built over time through patterns. If you want her respect, you must show that you are consistent, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's uncomfortable. Step 1, stop overreacting to her moods. If she's distant, quiet, or a little cold, don't chase her. Let the moment breathe. Maintain your composure. Focus on your purpose, and let her come back naturally. Chasing sends a message that her approval is more important than your stability. Step 2, lead without controlling. Leadership is not about domination. It's about direction. If you made a plan, stick to it calmly. Even if she tests it, be open to her ideas. But don't change course out of fear of conflict. Step 3, watch your tone. Strength isn't loud. True power is in speaking slowly, clearly, and with conviction. A man who remains calm under pressure is far more attractive than one who raises his voice to be heard. Step 4, protect your boundaries. If something matters to you, stand by it without apology. The moment you give in to avoid discomfort, you send a signal that your principles are negotiable. And finally, step 5, keep building yourself. Your goals, your health, your discipline. These should never depend on her presence or approval. A man on a mission is magnetic, And that energy cannot be faked. When you start living this way, you will notice something powerful. The tests will still come, they always do, but they will no longer shake you. And when she sees that, her entire perception of you will shift. Respect will deepen. Attraction will grow. And the silent test that once felt impossible will become just another part of the game you've already mastered. Most men approach relationships as if they are a series of wins and losses, moments to be scored, challenges to be conquered. But the truth is, this silent test is not a one-time battle. It's a lifelong rhythm. The real shift happens when you stop seeing her tests as obstacles and start seeing them as opportunities. Every time she challenges you, questions you, or even frustrates you, she is revealing where your strength is real and where it's just an act. If you're willing to face those moments with calm confidence, you're not only proving something to her, you're proving it to yourself. Carl Jung spoke about individuation, the process of becoming your true self. In many ways, these tests are part of that journey. They strip away pretense. They force you to confront who you are when no one is clapping for you. They reveal whether your confidence is rooted in reality or if it's just a mask. Here's the deeper truth. A strong woman doesn't test you because she wants to break you. She tests you because she wants to see if you can hold steady when life inevitably does. It's not about winning every argument or always being in control. It's about being a man whose identity is so secure that no mood, no challenge, no test can shake it. Once you shift your mindset like this, the tension you used to feel will disappear. You won't take her tests personally. You'll recognize them for what they are. Signals that she's still engaged, still invested, still looking to you for leadership. And instead of reacting with frustration, you'll respond with clarity, patience, and quiet strength. This is the point where everything changes. Not just in your relationship, but in your life. Because when you can stand firm under pressure here, you can stand firm anywhere. Now you know the truth. The silent test that has been shaping every connection you've ever had. You've seen how it works, how it appears when you least expect it, and how it quietly decides whether she will respect you or quietly take the lead. Most men will never hear this. They will keep failing the same tests over and over, wondering why their relationships lose spark, why their confidence fades, why they feel like they're always chasing instead of being chosen. But you stayed. You listened all the way to the end. That alone sets you apart. So here's my challenge to you. Don't just let this be another video you watch and forget. Apply it, live it, and watch how fast everything changes. If this opened your eyes, then you already know this is just the beginning. There's so much more about power, psychology, and attraction that you haven't heard yet, and that's exactly what I share here. So do this now, hit subscribe. Not because I asked, but because you know you can't afford to keep moving through life blind to these truths. The next video I post might be the one that answers a question you've been stuck on for years. And before you go, drop a comment. Tell me about a time you faced this test, and whether you passed or failed. Be honest. You might be surprised how many other men have lived the same moment. And finally, like this video if you want to see more content that pulls back the curtain on what really drives attraction, respect, and influence. The algorithms don't like to push this kind of truth, but together we can make sure more men hear it before it's too late.